What is going on, guys? It's Trevor coming at you from the Tesla and FSD. Just wanted to come talk to you guys yet again about Bmnr stock Bitmine Immersion Technologies. Tom Lee's company, Kathy Woods owns a lot of this stock. So yeah, if you're interested in this thing, definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section below how many Bitmine stocks you have, how many shares you have, and give this a thumbs up so other people can get informed about Bitmine as well. So with that going, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Yeah, so Bitmine stock, it's been hovering around $50 to $55 a share for quite some time now. The outliers, you know, when sentiment's good, it'll go over 60. It's been a while since it hit the 70s, but as we all know, we saw what happened to Bitmine stock, right? When it went public, right? It went to like, I think $140 per share, and that was like within the past like 6 months, right? So a lot of potential upside. A lot of people watching this stock is, I guess, really what I'm trying to say here. There are a lot of eyes on this stock. I want to say Bitmine, comprises like 3% or something of ARKK. So you got the Kathy Woods of the world really watching this stock, the whole ARK Invest community watching it, as well as just like anyone that likes Tom Lee and agrees with Tom Lee as far as like his price targets for the market, his price targets for Ethereum specifically, right, or Bitcoin, or all these risk-on assets, right? So I would say, and I'm not a financial advisor, this is just my personal humble opinion from a guy on YouTube, right, that I believe that Ethereum could definitely, you know, hit $10,000 in the next year. If that, like I said, not financial advice, but that's like what I could see happening. I'm not saying it for sure will happen, but it really wouldn't surprise me if we saw a $10,000 Ethereum price, right? I mean, look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to $250,000, like 250,000, you know Ethereum's going to go up too. And historically, Ethereum's usually, I believe, beaten the Bitcoin appreciation, right? So the ROI in Bitcoin is lower than Ethereum because it's considered riskier, and then usually, like in bear markets, Ethereum goes down more than Bitcoin does, right? So if you believe that we are in a pro-crypto environment where you think crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these Solana, right, the big ones, if you think they're going to go up, most likely Ethereum's going to go up more than Bitcoin, right? So everyone has their own risk tolerance, everyone likes their own cryptos, everyone likes their own stocks, or their own investments in general, right? But this is just my video on Bitmine. The company has over $10 billion in Ethereum. So, I mean, it's pretty wild to think like what Bitmine could be. Their market cap is already pretty large. It's around 10-ish billion, give or, you know, plus or minus 2 or 3 billion, right? But definitely very, you know, correlated to Ethereum. So it's kind of like what I've said before about MicroStrategy and MetaPlanet, where it's like, if you believe in Ethereum, here's my thought process. If you believe in Bitcoin, it's hard not to believe in Ethereum, right? So, and if you believe in Ethereum, it's really hard not to believe in Bitmine, right? And you know, Tom Lee and the Bitmine executive leadership team, right? They are trying to accrete Ethereum for shareholders. So that's a big deal, you know? It's like I said, if you like Bitcoin, you probably like Ethereum. If you like Ethereum, it's hard not to like Bitmine, and it just, you know, seems like Bitmine is probably a leverage play on Ethereum. So like, for instance, right now, Ethereum is basically $4,000 a coin, right? So if you think about it like that, and then you've got Bitcoin, which is $115,000 right now. So what is it? You can get about, you can just call it like 28 Ethereum for every Bitcoin, right? So if that continues, let's just say that proportion stays the same, you know, then if Bitcoin is $1 million, then Ethereum would be, I believe, around 40K, right? 35K, 40K. So that is a, you know, but odds are that proportion won't stay the same. Odds are the Ethereum price, there may maybe only be 25 Ethereum to 1 Bitcoin, 20 Ethereum to 1 Bitcoin, right? And that's when you get into the overperformance at ETH compared to Bitcoin. So yeah, so that's why I like to stay, I do like to stay diversified. Don't get me wrong, my portfolio has you know, asymmetric bets and does have concentrated positions, right? My most concentrated position is Tesla stock, right? But then I've got some MicroStrategy, I've got some Metaplanet, and I've got some Bitmine, right? And I'm starting to diversify even more. So you'll probably see some more videos on new stocks that I'm getting into. That'll comprise very small percentage of my portfolio, but still are there as like a safety net in case my other investments don't do well. And I see a lot of value. I see asymmetric bets all over the market right now, if we're being honest, you know, all over. But I do feel like the best risk to reward is Tesla, MicroStrategy, Metaplanet, Bitmine, basically Tesla and the, you know, the crypto treasury companies, the ones that are actually like doing well and have like notoriety. They've got people following them. They've got, that's really one of the biggest things when it comes to crypto treasury companies, is they need people watching them, right? You need to be able to have eyes on your company all the time to, you know, create and sustain momentum, right? Because if you lose momentum and your MNAV gets below 1, you know, then it's like what's going on, you know? There's still some companies like Metaplanet, right? Their MNAV went below 1. I still believe in them. MicroStrategy, the biggest one of all, right? The pioneer in this industry. Their MNAV went below 1, I believe, in 2022 during the bear market, right? So it's important to know what you hold, right? I'm not a financial advisor, just some guy on YouTube. So it's important for you as the investor to know what you're holding, to know your own risk tolerance, knowing that MicroStrategy tomorrow could be at 20%. It could also be down 20%. It's all hinged upon Bitcoin price and sentiment. You know, MicroStrategy's MNAV is not 1. You know, it's a little bit higher. It's like 1.2, 1.3. So like there, you are paying a premium when you buy MicroStrategy shares. Compared to Bitmine, you're paying very, very small premium, if any, right? And I think that's why so many large institutional investors like it, right? So like you got the Peter Thiels of the world, right, that own Bitmine shares. So that's like a red flag right there that maybe you should have a little bit, right? If you think that Peter Thiel is smarter than you and Peter Thiel is a better investor than you, then I think it's worth noting, you know, his investments and looking at whether you agree with him, whether you have the same risk tolerance, whether you can put 1% of your portfolio into something like Bitmine, right? I mean, to me, it's like a super obvious, right? But I'm also 31. I just turned 31, right? So I'm in my 30s. I've got decades, you know, that I'm going to continue to live, you know, and make money. I also work for a living, right? So I contribute to a 401k. I, you know, take money out of every paycheck and I buy assets with them. I own my own house. So I have a whole diversified thing going on, right? So just, you have to understand where you're at. And like I said, it's even more importantly than where you're at, what your risk tolerance is. Because let's say Bitmine goes to $30 per share the day after you buy it and you're down 30, 40%. That's probably not the time to be selling, right? The time to be selling was at 140 or 75. And I'm not even saying I would sell 75. I wouldn't sell 75. If Bitmine was 140 tomorrow and the MNAV was, you know, 3, yeah, I'm probably selling. Waiting for a better time to get in. But with the MNAV close to 1, like, you're paying almost no premium for this company, right? So that's what I like. I like the asymmetric bets where I'm like buying a company that, you know, holds an underlying asset that's very volatile and that I believe will do very well in the long term, right? And they continue to buy that volatile asset that I believe will do really well in the long term with other people's money, right? So they're taking credit and buying, essentially credit, and buying more Ethereum, right? So it's a brand new business model with these crypto treasury companies. You know, a lot of people don't understand them. Sketches a lot of people out, understandably. But at the same time, I think that if you do your due diligence and you read and you research about these companies, you'll see that's really what they are, is they're leverage plays on crypto. You know, because they find ways to accrete the crypto for the shareholders that already like the underlying asset in the first place, right? And yeah, they just buy the company because they think that it's going to outperform the actual underlying asset. So yeah, that's why I like Bitmine, guys. I'll keep making videos on Bitmine, letting you guys know, but I'm pounding the table right now. I think Bitmine at $50, $53, whatever it is right now, is a steal of a deal, right? So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you made it to the end of this video, what are you doing? You definitely got to subscribe to the channel, right? Come out with daily videos on AI, crypto, robotics, everything, semiconductors, right? And anything you can imagine that you think is going to do well in the long term, I'm willing to talk about on this channel and debate with you guys, and hopefully we can come to some conclusions together, some resolutions, and we can make some money together, right? So like I said, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Comment below how many Bit Behind shares you got, and have yourself a fantastic day.